Hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. As you can see right here, we've covered Dunsparce before, but since then we have a new evolution, Dunsparce. A name that's so ridiculous, not even Google believes it's real. It's like, nah, that's not a Pokemon. So I just wanted to show that off. We'll go ahead to Dunsparce. Did you mean Dunsparce? Are you sure? This doesn't sound real. Pokemon. Google's insulting you. If you're interested in the original video, it will be linked down below for you to go ahead and look at. We'll go ahead and read the comments and shit too. Yeah, we're redoing the episode. You know, I think Signature Trainer is probably the only time you can get away with just using some generic fucking person's name and it'd be okay. Because I was thinking about it for a second and I was like, well, Surge, Raichu, Misty, Starmie, like those have been in the past before, but Larry's just Larry. I know a Larry. I hope he gets hit by a bus. I hate him. And maybe like they gave him that name to try and make it sound as normal and mundane as possible, because that's, you know, normal type gym. But anyway, Signature Trainer, there you go. I am going to be that guy and say I personally don't relate to the hype and popularity of Larry. Larry was like hyped up, was like, oh my gosh, he's the best ever, and I got there and I was like, wow, he's boring. I don't care. I'm not going to say this is a good idea, but I will give it points for originality. Chain link fence, or just a chain, I suppose. And just because as I was looking at it, someone put, oh, my 3-segment Dunsparce is Dunsparce. I'm like, ah, that's great. We're not going to go ahead and search the different segments. I don't think it fucking matters, personally. So, it's whatever. Oh my gosh, how have I not thought of that? Did I think of that? Okay, sorry. Let me focus real quick. Down here, you know, you can go ahead and you can do this little Control F. Dunsparce is listed as Aniru. And I didn't recognize that one at all. It also says Rope, which I think is a strange choice. But this is Aniru. And it's from The Adventure of Link, so Zelda 2, which explains why I don't quite recognize it, because I'm not good at 2D Zeldas, and Zelda 2 is especially fucking weird because it's the least Zelda, but I feel like that's what also makes it the most fascinating. Now, considering in the original video I say, I don't have any ideas for Dunsparce, and neither does the internet, we're going to go ahead and highlight this. Also, it's just not necessarily bad. Now, what I was over here geeking out about was the fact that I know I had Armos written down as a nickname, but I don't remember who it was. I want to say I suggested it for somebody, but Probopass is actually probably the best fucking choice. Like, this kind of shit, if you pay attention to the community tab, what I've been doing, and I'll probably do a lot more once we're officially done with the series, I've got a list of just fucking nicknames, and I'm like, I don't know who to put this on. And I'll probably just do that. Post the nickname and say, guys, who do you think this fits? So Armos for Probopass, I love that a lot. But Aniru Rope is the subject at hand. I at least want to highlight that at least the first 2 things on here are wholesome, while this needs to go the fuck away. Can we report that on Etsy? Honestly, a lot of these Dunsparce links aren't even relevant. Like, this one's just talking about Gen 2 being bad, which, gonna go ahead and say, if you're gonna make that criticism, let's also consider the fact that stats back then, if you look at Gen 1 and Gen 2, were significantly lower than they were now. So they added stuff because, you know, they upped their ante a lot. This has, yeah, what even is that? I'm not clicking on TikTok. TikTok is always bad. Looked at that. This is good stuff. Go ahead and look at that. This is more people just making fun of the fact that Dunsparce was not the evolution that people were anticipating. Personally, I'm just glad to see it have something new, because in the original Dunsparce, I'm like, yeah, that needs a mega evolution or something, and it got it. I'm happy for it. I don't mind. It doesn't bother me at all. I think making it a normal ground type would have maybe been better, but it's fine regardless. This is Dondozo. I don't know what this is doing here. This is them talking about how they got a shiny, which, fun fact, if you didn't know, if you have a Pokemon like, let's say, Dunsparce, and it's a level 100, you can use a rare candy on it, and it will still evolve. I didn't know that. I had a shiny Dunsparce, And I thought, well, fuck, there's no way I can evolve it. So I wonder traded away and got a new shiny Dunsparce. It's probably, both of them, are probably of questionable integrity, but I didn't know you could still evolve Pokemon at level 100. So in case you didn't know that, you can do that as of Gen 9. This one we already looked at, so let's go ahead and just see what regular Dunsparce brought, because, I mean, there's nothing there. I suppose we can go ahead and look over the comments first to see what the original video had. Honey, I don't know if you're like colorblind, but mangoes are orange and shiny Dunsparce is pink. Food-based nicknames are fine, but I don't really think that's gonna fit. Histocrat after the Mario enemy. I like that one. That one's fine. I suppose you could probably maybe Superior kind of comes to mind as maybe something a little bit better, as that's more regal, but points for originality. In the original video, I literally make fun of this because apparently that was like the thing I saw everywhere, which is what it's based off of. Never name your Pokemon what they're based off of. I named my newborn son Baby. Congratulations. You're an idiot. Why is the Dunsparce nicknames hidden under the Dunsparce Google search, but Dunsparce Google search brings Dondozo? Burrito? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and give a little scroll through so you can see, like, everything here is food-based nicknames, and, like, you know, I'm not gonna shit on food-based nicknames, they're fine, but if it's relevant, it's relevant. There was, like, one or two that I actually felt was kind of worth highlighting, so for, well, this isn't one of them, but Brownie was one mentioned in the third episode by the Tumblr idiot, and I actually thought it was decent. Lord of Johto is just kind of funny. Kevin Sparcy is in Kevin Spacey. Spaghetti, that made me think about how my Dratini was originally named Twizzler, so, you know, can't really shit on that too much. Rocher, Ferrero Rocher. Blondie was the one I actually, out of all those, liked the most. And I named my Jinx Blondie after the band, which is also probably some reference to the comic strip as well. So that one's fine to me. Like, that one's probably the best out of everything here, because it's blonde. But I'm still going to prefer that on Jinx above all else, because blonde female. I also just kind of want to point out real quick, I'm surprised that after my 5 years of doing this, that nobody has once decided to put Name Rater in the comment suggestions as a joke in the way that people do here on Pokemon.net. In the original Dunsparce video, I mentioned that normal types don't really have generic type-based nicknames for you to lean on, so if you're stuck, then it's harder to come up with a nickname for it. And then I talk about, you know, Binding of Isaac Bayonetta style nicknames. Suffering kind of fits that motif as well. So in a weird way, I like the idea of naming a Pokemon Suffering. During Mortal Kombat 11, where you could name your fighting styles, I think I named Katana's Suffering. I don't like you. I reached the bottom for Dunsparce as well, and, you know, it's not too much. It's actually kind of funny to see how things change when you look up Dunsparce nicknames now. I am going to say that, unlike Girafarig, I feel like its design, obviously, is so similar that any nickname, if you had a nickname for Dunsparce, you could carry it over to Dunsparce. And if you feel like you have a new nickname that's like, this is definitely a Dunsparce nickname, it'll probably still fit Dunsparce. Unless it has something to do with Hyper Drill, then maybe not so much. But regardless, I didn't write anything down. I think it was Nehru was like the highlight, but also at the same time, I'm like, I feel like we found probably better results here than we did in the original recording. So that's great. If you are interested again in the original recording, it will be linked down in the description below. Apparently that was recorded or posted. It might have been recorded around there. July of 2020. So it's been about almost 4 years. Here's how the results have changed. We do have a comment suggestion to go over. Dun 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 was one I saw a bunch. And then looking at this row, Pierce the Heavens. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything. Okay, well that's that. Any other ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. Let us know what you'd use or recommend. Don't hate on Dunsparce, bro. He's been through some shit. Not that you can tell on his face.